Rivet to all. In the last episode we left the new upcoming so-called Mesobatrachians in the final Jurassic. The schedule to evolve frog anatomy begun in the Upper Permian. The early Triassic Betrayus showed both temnospondyle and froggy characteristics. In this time frogs was more swimmers than jumpers. The enlarged ilium was helpful to support muscles for the hind legs. During the Triassic the ilium was growing and get in connection with a backbone. A couple of vertebrae vanished, the tail was shrinking and some vertebra bones was melting together, finally forming a bony rod called urostyle. This enlarged bony structure supported the late Triassic frogs by the most froggy ability, the power of jumping. In combination with this the leg anatomy altered, tibia and fibula mold together and grew in length, finally 2 foot bones enlarged to an extension of the foot, they are called calcaneum and astragalus. This gave our final Triassic ancestors the possibility of the catapult start we frogs use till modern days. So at the beginning of the Jurassic frogs had all the abilities like modern frogs. The big difference between frogs and salamanders is that salamanders decided to use the tail as swimming device. Another species in the late Permian evolved both stronger legs and a strong tail. This group was the archosaurs. This combination allowed the later bipedal locomotion of dinosaurs and birds. All 3 groups survived and thrived, with exception of the dinosaurs, till the modern days. Oh yes, the dinosaurs, they was very impressing and ruled the world for over 150 million years without any opposition. Dinosaurs was the most successful group in Earth's history. Their dominance was undisputed, mammals was mouse-like creatures, and frogs, frogs was frogs anytime. A superficial view of this time is that both mammals and frogs didn't evolve in this time. But in both cases this is wrong. Last time we left Ratanosteus, a member of the Rhinophrynidae. The modern representative of this group is the Mexican burrowing toad. This nice toad lives in the soil of dry and moist forests in Mesoamerica, especially in the Yucatan Peninsula. In danger this toad is inflating to a kind of tip-nosed balloon to scare enemies. The sister taxon of Rhinophrynidae are the Pipidae, the tongueless frogs. The first evidence was Shamronella which lived in Israel and Jordan at the beginning Cretaceous. A famous recent representant of this clade is the African Xenopus, better known as clawed frog. These frogs show another behavior, they live most of their time aquatic. This may be the reason they are favored to use as aquarium frogs. Another group, the Pipa, or Suriname toad, lives in the north of South America. Similar like Xenopus these toads live almost aquatic. Pipidae and Rhinophrynidae are combined in the clade Xenoanura, the strange frogs. Most fossil evidence of these groups is in the Upper Cretaceous and the Neogene. Fossils was found in North and South America, Africa, and the Middle East. Today they are reduced to Africa, Middle, and South America. Most of the are okay, but many genera of Xenopus are very endangered. The Lower Cretaceous was characterized by irradiation of the Mesobatrachians. Fossils are found from Morocco till Japan. The modern main groups was formed out before 100 million years ago. The warm climate of the early Cretaceous supported this trend. Large parts of the world was wet and warm. This would be a frog paradise, but they shared their world with a lot of dinosaurs, pterosaurs, and more, birds. Between 190 million years ago the division of Africa and South America was completed. From now on it was not possible to reach the other continent on terrestrial paths. This was the beginning of the isolation of South American and Laurasian frogs. The second division of the Mesobatrachians was the Anomocoela. Most fossil reports are located in the Neogene, except of them of the Pelobatidae. One of the oldest, Betrayus, lived in China 125 million years ago. According to the molecular clock the group of Anomocoela separated about 155 million years ago from the other frogs. The sister taxon are the so-called Neobatrachia, the new frogs. Later more. The first division of the Anomocoela are the Scaphiopididae, the American spadefoot toads. The name spadefoot is derived from the keratinous bone in its hind legs that allow it to burrow within dirt. Today these toads exist only in North America, but fossil traces from the Neogene was found in Mongolia. The sister taxon of Scaphiopodidae splits into Pelobatoidea and Peloditidae. The group Peloditidae is better known as parsley frog. This frog lives in Western Europe and in the east of the Black Sea. Fossil traces of this group was found in North America too. The first division of Pelobatoidea are the Pelobatidae, the European spadefoot toads. These toads can reach a length of 10 cm. They look like their American cousins and share their spadefoot. These toads are native in Europe, Western Asia, and Morocco. Fossil traces was found in North America, China, and Mongolia too. The second division of Pelobatoidea are the Megaphreidae aka litter frogs. They are masters in camouflage and can reproduce structures of leaves on their skin. They only exist in Central and Eastern Asia. Some species live in Sumatra, Borneo, Java, and some isles of the Philippines. Fossils was also found in North America. We see that all these groups once was cosmopolitical but now reduced their territory. Mostly, with one exception, the modern territories exclude those of the other divisions. I really ask why. Ribbit. Okay, I lost my text. I'm so sorry, where I've been. A moment. Croak. Now I'm back. Let's have a look to the period between 130 and 120 million years. New fossil species first emerged in Spain, later in China and finally in Brazil. Some of them are very basal frogs, like Beelzebufo. Iberobatrachus and Colobatrachus are members of the Archaeobatrachia, both member of the Costata clade. The Mesobatrachia was represented by Leobatrachus in China and the Xenopoid Gracilobatrachus in Spain. And in this epoch, 130 million years ago, another frog with the nice name Montsecobatrachus lived in Spain. Montsecobatrachus marks the uprise of a new genera of frogs, the Neobatrachia, or the new frogs. 8 million years later, a couple of Neobatrachian species lived in Brazil. These frogs, Ararifrinus, Cretaceous, and Eurycephalella, seem also to be basal representatives of the Neos. Another basal group of Neobatrachians is not fossil documented. These are the Heliophrynidae or ghost frogs who live in South Africa. They are good rock climbers and their metamorphosis needs 2 years. The separation from the other Neos happened about 125 million years ago, close to the time of the first Neos. The next group, the Zeuglossoidea, is not trackable by fossils too. The subgroup of the Zeuglossoidea lives in India and the Seychelles. The Seychelles was divided from India 100 million years ago. The other subtype is Nasicobatrachus from India. This frog is very special looking and resembles, however, to the mammal mole, especially the nose. It's possible that the Zeuglossoidea emerged in the combined landmass of Madagascar, India, and Seychelles. Later, about 110 million years ago, the remaining line of Neos was divided into Notogenura and Rhinoids. The Rhinoids are also called the true frogs, a term given by humans. It's not easy to explain when is a frog a true frog and when he's false. The Notogenura are as froggy than the Rhinoids and contain a couple of very famous representatives. So these frogs lived in a world in change. Africa and South America was separated by a new ocean. The oldest traces of the Notogenura was found in South America, but in the final Cretaceous. The first group of them was the Australobatrachia. They emerged about 100 million years ago. This group split into 2 subgroups. One is the Calyptocephalidae in South America, the other subgroup split into Myobatrachidae and Limnodinastidae. The whole subgroup lives in Australia. The oldest fossil Calyptocephalidae is Burrowing, who lived in Brazil between 70 and 66 million years ago. The modern representatives, 2 species of toads, live in Chile and are very endangered. The presence of Limnodinastidae and Myobatrachidae in Australia dates about 25 million years back. Today they live in Australia, New Guinea, and Tasmania. These frogs live aquatic or terrestrial. The next group, the Tirana, emerged about 95 million years ago. There's no fossil record of these frogs. Today they live in the Americas and are called flesh-belly frogs, rain frogs, and saddleback toads. Only the rain frogs are distributed in both North and South America, the other groups live only in South America. The sister group of the Durana are the Hyloidea, a group with a couple of remarkable species. The first of them are the Hemiphractidae in South and Central America. An unique adaptation in this family is the breeding behavior where the eggs are carried on the female's back. The eggs may develop into froglets on the back of the female without free-swimming tadpole stage, be released after hatching as tadpoles, or be deposited in water to complete their development there. A very prominent group are the Hylidae. The appearance of these so-called tree frogs is global. One of the most popular representatives of this group is doubtless Agallicnus calidrius, the red-eye tree frog from Central America. Thinking it's the most popular frog ever. The group is fossil traced till the lowest Neogene, but has to be older than 90 million years. The oldest Australian representative was Australobatrachus, who lived 28 million years ago. The next group, the Agasterophrynia, has very impressive members too. The first line are the Bufonidae, the toads. I know, the word toad came often, and there doesn't exist a clear distinction of frogs and toads, it's more given by appearance and behavior. The bufos are the real toads, living in the whole world today. Genetically they reach 89 million years backward. Oldest fossil traces was found in form of Indobatrachus, who lived 55 million years ago, surprise, in India. Toads live everywhere on Earth, also in Australia, but they're in form of the AGA toad who was imported by the humans. But this will be a later chapter. Another well-known toad is the golden toad. It's so sad to know this beautiful representative doesn't exist yet. The sister group of toads, the Dendrobatoidea, consists of Aromobatidae and Dendrobates. First are called the cryptic forest frogs. They look very nice but are less toxic than their sister taxon, the famous Dendrobates. The dart poison frogs are jewels on 4 legs, the spectrum of their colors is enormous. The shiny colors are telling one message: I'm toxic, and this is not a joke. Especially the group of the Philobates is extremely toxic. There exist many toxins, one of the worst is batrachotoxin. But the biosynthesis needs ingredients from their food insects. Humans used the toxin for poisoned arrows. The frog himself used the poison for protection, not as weapon. The next group are the Diphyiobatracea. The first division of them, the Leptodactylidae, live in South and Central America. In the early Neogene, 55 million years ago, fossil species lived in Argentina and Nevada. Sometime in the Miocene a group migrated to the Caribbean too. The group is called southern frogs. The sister taxon is split into 2 subgroups. The Tukite hill frog is the only existing representative of the Allophryni and lives in the northern part of South America, especially in Venezuela. The other group, the Centralinidae, lives in the tropical South and Central America and is better known as glass frogs. The name is given in relation to the transparent skin of some members. Like tree frogs, they deposit their eggs in leaves over a pond or river. After hatching, the tadpoles fall into the water. The next group, the Ceratophryidae, let fossil traces. The origin of this group is dated 93.6 million years before us. This marks the time of the emergence of the other groups has to been between 110 and 94 million years ago. The oldest fossil specimen is Uberabobatrachus from Brazil, who lived between 70.6 and 66 million years ago. The modern representatives live exclusively in South America and are the so-called horned frogs. But the most famous representative of this family lived contemporary to Uberabobatrachus in Madagascar. This was the giant under the frogs, the Beelzebufo. Beelzebufo was a frog, not a toad like the name could insist. The length without legs was over 40 centimeters, and this frog had the ability to devour young dinosaurs. The next family, the Odontophrynidae, live in southern and eastern South America. Oldest fossils are found in Quaternary Argentina. The next group consists of a couple of small families of frogs, all living in southern South America. The Cycloramphidae live in the southern Brazil, the Alsodidae live between Patagonia and southern Brazil, and the Hylididae in Brazil and Argentina. 3 groups are remaining. The 64 species of Telmatobiidae live in the Andean highland. A famous representant is the Titicaca water frog. This frog can reach a length of 50 centimeters, with the legs. The skin is full of folded wrinkles, an adaptation to the high altitude of the Altiplano. The wrinkled skin helps to bear oxygen. Unfortunately, this remarkable frog is extremely endangered. It's not finally known why, but the problem seems to be androgen. Last but not least, we have the 2 small groups of Batrachulidae and Rhinodermatidae, both exclusively living in South America. The Rhinodermatidae are better known as Darwin's frogs, in honor to their famous human discoverer. Both species of Darwin's frogs are endangered. The Batrachulidae live in the cold southern part of Argentina and Chile. These frogs show how adaptable we are. These was the members of the Notogenera. More about their sister taxon, the so-called true frogs, next time. We'll reach the critical transit from Cretaceous to the Tertiary. How was the big extinction event for our froggy ancestors? Enjoy your live and stay froggy.